Hey everyone, it's Rodney Ross with Limitless Real Estate. We're out here today at one of our completed rehabs. I'm going to walk you through the numbers first, and then we're going to show you the block and then go inside. So this one we actually purchased for $55,000. We spent about $117,000 rehabbing it, and it's under contract to sell to a retail buyer right now for $229,000. So that's the main, we're going to be closing in actually 2 weeks here. That's why we're doing this video right now. And let me tell you a little bit about what we did. So you can see the block here. This is one of the very long blocks in West Philly. This block actually has like 3 parts, which is really cool. Part of why we purchased the property is because it's at the end of the block, and you got a lot of people that take care of their yards here. It's very wide, and this is a rare 2-way, 1-lane street. So I've almost had car accidents in this street because you can see there's cars parked both ways, but there's only 1 lane. So what happens if you're driving down the street and someone's coming up to you, you got to pull into a spot, someone's got to pull over. So very interesting block though. So this is a larger than average single family home, a larger than average 2-story single family here. A lot of the ones that we've looked at and purchased are like 1,000 square feet, 1,100. This one's almost 1,400 square feet, which is why we got it. You're able to get a nice layout with like 3 big bedrooms and 2 bathrooms in here. As you can see, we're not quite done the rehab here. We had to dig up some of the plumbing to the street, and starting later this week, we're going to be knocking out the punch list here, cleaning all this up. I'm going to highlight one of the reasons why I like this house is because of this funny X brick design, which I don't think I've seen before. Also, you can see from the outside here, it has some original detail. You see that stained glass above the porch. It looks really cool from the inside. So it's not your typical iron railings like you see on most row homes. We did go with iron railing for the outside, for the front of the yard, and we decided to keep this brick wall, which we actually had some people tell us that it didn't look good, which totally disagree with. So let's go inside. As you can see, we got lucky on this one. It's got nice ceiling height. We're probably at about 9.5, 10 feet here. We were able to just open up. This living room was all sorts of closed off. When we bought it, there was actually a vestibule at the entrance. So we took down the wall to the vestibule. I'll show you the living room real quick. So this living room, there used to be the vestibule here, and there was actually like a half bathroom that cut all the way into the living room. What happened, we were able to keep the some of the original, this is the second original detail here. I don't know what you call this type of tile, but there was actually this tile on both sides. So when we were doing our demolition, we were taking down the top part of this wall, and we were going to keep the other side of the tile, and we were going to keep it maybe like knee height or chest height or whatever. And we found out that the wall was actually not reinforced with anything. So as soon as they knocked the wall up here, the whole thing came crashing down. So one of the sad parts of the rehab, we did lose the one side of the tile, but we kept the other side, and we got this cool stained glass that we were able to keep. So nice open living room layout. We just kept the brick here. I think we're running ductwork through it, which you can see. And I'm going to take you into the dining room. By the way, we furnished the furniture that's in here. My partner Stephanie does all our furnishing and staging and all that. The furniture that's in here is from another Airbnb that we just sold about a month ago. Right now we're still in the middle of this pandemic, and things are still shut down. So we had another 3-bedroom house that we were Airbnb-ing, and we decided to sell it and got way more than I thought we were going to get for it. And then we took all that furniture and we moved it in here for the staging. And as soon as we moved the furniture in here, it sold pretty soon after that. So another cool part that I like about this house, originally I think the only exposed brick was either this section here that's darker or from here to the basement door. And sometimes when you expose brick, it's tough because you have all this like plaster up against it, and you never know until you start chipping away at it how easy it's going to be. It might take them an hour, a couple hours, or it might take them a couple days to get all the plaster out. We were lucky with this brick wall. It didn't take them that long, so I think we exposed it. I think it was the part on the right that was exposed, and we just opened it all the way up to our kitchen back here. So it gave us a nice feel for the dining area, and plenty wide enough dining area. And then our kitchen, we were able to make, this is like a pretty long kitchen, and we got the overhang, which you could probably fit 3 stools in this counter. So we like doing the we like doing when we can the whole U kitchen design. And also, you notice, which I didn't mention before, like this house is very bright. We've got, you don't often have, this is an end unit and there's no, if you look out the window, it's probably worth, like you do have the backs of these houses here, but they're not, usually it's an alley and then you only have 3 feet of space and then there's another house right next to it. So even though you have side windows, you don't really get a ton of light. In this one, we were able to get a lot of light from these 3 side windows and the other window around the corner in the living room. So now a lot of West Philly homes, they have a back shed area and I never know what to do with it. So sometimes it's tight like this. This is like thick brick wall. And we're trying to figure out like, how do we fit space in here? This is our bathroom here. We made a little half bath here. And then now we have furniture in front of this, but this is the laundry area where you can fit a side-by-side washer and dryer. So it turned it from a 3-bed, 2-bath house to a 3-bed, 2.5-bath house. And the cost always makes sense. If you're rehabbing properties, you always want to see if you can get a second, this is the 3rd bathroom here. You want to see if you can get a half bathroom on the 1st floor so people don't have to go upstairs when they're entertaining. And it adds value. It costs you very little and it's worth a lot. So back here is, so normally we would have the whole yard area cleaned up. With this rehab, we actually decided to leave it as is, believe it or not, because the buyers were willing to purchase the price that we wanted and the price that they wanted to pay was a little bit different. So we decided to leave these stairs as is and they're going to clean up and fix the yard themselves. But on 99% of our other rehabs, we would be redoing this yard. So I'm going to take you back inside. Okay. All right. Just really like these high ceilings here. You can see we got so much recessed lighting. Makes it really, really bright. And this staging really helped. So the one thing that we had to decide with this staircase, this is an original staircase. We ended up repainting it white. It's tough because it's kind of tight. And when we were moving our king beds upstairs, they just barely fit. You can see if you're 6'4" like me, you're standing, you come up the stairs, you're almost hitting your head. So it would have cost us a little bit extra to widen the staircase. We would have had to take some of these joists and like shorten them and all that. We decided not to do that. We just kept it as is. So a little bit tighter of a staircase. Had to save a little. So you want to make sure when you're rehabbing properties, you got to be mindful of not going way too far over budget. I don't think it would have added value to widen the staircase. So I'm going to start in the back here. Actually, let's start with the back bedroom. We've also got a lot of windows on the 2nd floor. So this, I don't think I've ever had a bedroom with 4 windows in it. We decided to just leave them all open. And I think the buyers liked the fact that it had open, lots of windows. We still have to cut the tree back a little bit back there, but you got tons of light in this bedroom. This is a king bed, so it's even with a king bed, you have a decent amount of space. And we were able to fit long closets in all 3 of the bedrooms here, which was a big deal. Because often in your middle bedroom, sometimes you're not able to get a closet that's as large as you want it to be. So before we go in the bedroom, I'm going to show you, this is the first time we did this cool little, usually this would be a straight pointed corner and it takes space from your hallway. The guys were able to frame and make a nice little rounded corner. Love this. This was my partner Steph's idea and I think it turned out great. Because now when you get to the top of the stairs, if their wall were out here, it'd feel real tight. So this middle bedroom, same long closet, which you may not be able to see with the angle, but you can fit, this is a queen bed. We just folded it up to make sure that people could see how big the bedroom is, but you could fit a queen bed in here. It may be better for a twin or like a children's room or a crib or baby's room or whatnot, but still spacious, still got a decent amount of closet space and 2 large windows. So now what we did here, we were just able to fit when this was still a shell and we were drawing this out. We couldn't figure out how big the 2nd bathroom was going to be able to be. So we were able to fit 2 5x8 bathrooms, which is like our standard, usually 5x8 or 5x9 is the amount of space you need. And that, actually, I'm sorry, this bathroom is a little wider, and I can tell you how I know that. So tubs are usually about 5 feet even. And you can see here, we were able to fit, we had a little bit of extra space that we used as shelving here. So this bathroom is probably, I don't know, 5 feet 8 inches, 5 feet 9 inches wide. So this is the second bathroom, and the master bathroom is about the same size. This is the master bedroom. You've got the closets here. Nice big closet as well. And then also, again, another king bed. So you can see you've got space for the, what do you call them? Night tables, nightstands. And then we left a little bit of space here for the dresser. And the bedroom's large enough to fit it. I feel like the person may put a queen bed here, or we may sell them our furniture and they'll keep this king. And then let's take you into the master bathroom. This bathroom, the layout didn't end up exactly how I wanted to. You can see, you may not be able to see, the shower is behind the closet. I'm gonna leave this off so you can hear me. So we only were really able to fit a stand-up shower, and then we had to put the toilet and the vanity kind of here. It didn't work perfectly, but got the job done. I think a lot of people are concerned with really just having a master bathroom, even if the layout ends up being a little bit funky. So it worked out here. All right, let's go back downstairs. And another thing I'll mention with this rehab, we were actually debating whether to keep it a single family or make it a duplex like one of our other rehabs. The last video that we shot was, because this, like a lot of other properties around here, was also zoned RM1, which means we could have made it to apartments. And this probably would have been a nice big 1-bedroom apartment, and we probably would have gotten a 2-bedroom apartment upstairs. But it ended up great as a single family house. The reason why we wanted to sell it in the first place is because we own a lot of other properties around here, and it's helping raise the value. So like selling this, even though we're not making a gigantic profit, is helping to raise some of the values of our other properties. Like we own a property actually right outside behind this. So we're helping the neighborhood come up, and if you know anyone that's looking for houses like this, we do have a few more coming up in the future. So feel free to reach out to me, and thank you for watching.